Canada will be a strong country when Canadians of all provinces feel at home in all parts of the country, and when they feel that all Canada belongs to them. Pierre Trudeau. Currently, Canada is a parliamentary democracy, which consists of the House of Commons, the Senate, and the British Crown. The House of Commons creates many more of the government bills than the Senate, but both houses and the Crown must approve of these bills. This isn't much of a problem for the House of Commons to have these bills passed, partially because it's not really the Crown's place to step in and say no, when in theory the government is doing what the people want, and also because the Senate barely ever rejects or tries to change anything about these bills. Some people believe the Senate should be abolished. I believe in reforming it. The Senate is there to represent the people, help offset the rep by pop in the House of Commons, and to amend, get rid of, and propose government bills. One of the current problems is that there isn't a true representation of all people. The majority of people being represented right now are white, conservative males, and this is mostly because the senators are appointed by the Governor General and the Prime Minister. However, change is needed. An elected Senate would give the Senate too much power, so a compromise was made. The Senate would still be appointed by the Prime Minister and the Governor General, but the people who are appointed can't be of political affiliation and are recommended by the provinces. These everyday Canadians who are appointed will give other Canadians more of a chance to control what happens in Canada. Secondly, the plan is to keep rep by region to offset the rep by pop, but it needs to be altered to be more balanced so that all of the regions have the right amount of representation they need to help contribute to the future of Canada. You don't want it completely balanced because the regions are all different. Right now, there are 105 seats in the Senate. I propose to change it to 72 seats. The territories get 6, Newfoundland 6, Ontario and Quebec both get 12 seats, Maritimes 12, BC plus Alberta 12, Saskatchewan plus Manitoba 12. Each region would be responsible for having a minimum of one Aboriginal representative for every province in the region, totaling a minimum of 13 Aboriginal representatives. Aboriginal communities have and will continue to grow in population. So it only makes sense that we work together on what's going on in Canada, so Canada is the best it can be, and to try and avoid cultural genocides that we've had in the past, like residential schools, 60 Scoop, and even more recent things like missing and murdered Indigenous women. Hopefully the attempts of assimilation from the Canadian government will never happen again. The regions will also be asked to recommend immigrants who are Canadian citizens. Canada has a high immigrant population, so in order to represent all people, we need a diverse group of senators. So Canada can stop before creating more harm, so no one else has to go through the types of things that the Chinese went through during and after building the railroads, and the types of the things the Japanese Canadians went through during World War II. The change in the Senate could give Parliament the balance it needs to create better laws that are beneficial to the growth of Canada. All of these changes could take a lot of effort, but if we want to create a better Canada for the future and now, we're going to have to put in that effort.